There we go. Hello, people of stream who are not in the stream yet, probably, because nobody watches whenever I stream. Today, well, about 9 minutes ago, finished the Heart of the Crystal Gems arc of Steven Universe. And I am here with... State your name and gem, Sona.
Hi, my name's Abigail. My gemstone is Jadeite.
I'm Jillian. I don't have a gemstone.
And...
I'm Caleb. I'm a guy, but there's no gems.
He's an onyx.
Why am I onyx?
Yo, did you know... Did you know that before the Crooniverse or Rebecca Sugar stuck with Garnet, it was supposed to be either Onyx or I can't think of the other one, but it was supposed to be a different gem.
Obsidian?
No, that's the temple,
Who we still haven't seen.
but it's in the art book that the temple's name is Obsidian, and it makes sense since it's just all five of them. Fuck you.
Is there any video?
Yes, this is the video. Because my webcam's not working for some reason.
Oh god.
So we're gonna give our thoughts on the last episode, Reunited.
Ah!
I think that's good enough. Okay, that's it for the live stream. Can you turn it off? You hoe!
There we go. Okay.
Did you actually end it?
No.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, what?
That's all the input we get.
Yeah, just everyone's screaming. Okay, so we're gonna go in couch order, which is Jill, Abby, then Caleb. So, Jillian, how do you feel about this episode?
Love. That's literally it though, because that wedding part just hit my heart in all the right places. But then the diamond showed up and fucked everything up, and then
Peridot's the flower girl, by the way, which just made my day.
You get a flower. You get a flower.
And Bismuth with her outfit, like, yes please.
Making
Where can
fun
I
of
find it?
Ronaldo because he has like a stainless steel painted gold armor
Are you
suit.
kidding me? He tried to fight a diamond, like
With a samurai sword!
He tried to fight the cluster.
Yeah,
like
He's like,
me?
Yo, tell me why the cluster hikey looked like the colossal titan.
Arm, like, honestly.
well, it's because
Jill, you have a nice butt.
that's not in the episode.
So, is that all you have to say?
For now.
Okay, Abby,
Move
it's
on.
your turn. Don't scream too loud because this thing
Do
picks
it.
up a lot.
Do it.
Fuck this. Fuck me. This sucks. I love it. Please kill me. I'm trying to avoid. Well, actually, no. You already said what the fuck happened, so I can't even like. I don't even have to try to avoid spoiling this shit. So, it started off so sweet, and you fucking know that what's coming because everyone, not
We saw
everyone.
the freaking trailer, like,
But
Yeah.
see, no, but I didn't see the trailer, but I did get the spoilers from the stupid podcast.
Yeah.
So I knew that they were gonna show up. I didn't want to believe it, but here we fucking are. And do you know what pisses me off the most? Is that the moment the episode is done, they start showing spoilers for the next fucking episode! Fuck that!
you know what I did like?
Cartoon Network needs to shut the fuck up with that bullshit!
It's okay.
It's how to get people
I'm
attached.
just happy the diamonds didn't show up at the very last minute. Like,
Oh,
there
yeah.
was actual plot this episode.
Yeah.
I mean, there's fillers a lot, and I love them, but still, we need to get this shit done.
It wouldn't feel like fillers if Cartoon Network actually put things on a normal schedule, because it's actually quite important to the plot. It's just not about the space plot, and everyone wants the space plot.
It's true. I want Lars to come back.
I want a spin-off about the Gem War.
Oof,
Low-key
yeah.
prequel series, please.
Okay, now Caleb, what do you have to say?
Well, we can fill in a couple things on the bingo sheet. Steven got a new power.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about
Technically.
that.
He
He
had
got the spike ball and
No,
Well, he had
he's
Spike
had
Ball.
Spike
He
Ball.
He
Yeah.
has that
Yeah.
cycle.
when,
It was seen in Bismuth.
Oh,
It was
okay.
seen in
He
some
was
other
able to
episodes
know to
after
the
and
plots.
prior.
Yeah.
well,
And
we now know that he can poof.
yes, that
Somewhat.
too. But
Poofing somewhat.
we also know that he can use Pink's emotion power, like all the other diamonds have.
Yeah.
We still don't know what's up with White Diamond. What her is she supposed to be apathy or something? But we know that Yellow is anger.
Sympathy. I was never good enough to be. Just keep going.
No, but
How
also,
fucking dare you? Blue is supposed to be sadness, and Pink is love.
or understanding,
Compassion.
compassion,
Yeah.
kindness, other words that the Girl Scouts use.
Legit. Pink Diamond is now the new icon for Girl Scouts. That's how it's gonna be.
No, but
Now includes
there's a
guys.
trend.
Yeah. Right?
No, but now there's a trend of when they show off new diamonds, which is in January. Every time we've seen a new diamond, yellow, blue, pink, it has been in January.
Wait, that reveal is in January?
Yeah.
Really? Damn.
Jungle Moon was in January. And that's when we saw Pink Diamond, like
Like, on the
at front
snap
value.
view, right?
Well,
No,
when she punched
at
the
front
mirror.
value, we saw what she actually looked like.
From
See, I didn't
Stevani's
see that
point
in
of
that
view.
episode.
Jungle Moon?
No, I wasn't. Thomas has been the person
No.
to freaking give me the episodes
Oh
to
my
watch
God.
because I was behind, but I was caught up.
Wait,
never-
so he told you like, oh, watch this one for for
Yeah.
plot?
Yeah.
No, watch
Fuck
all
that.
of them.
You gotta
'cause
watch all of them.
watch
Right?
all of
I
them
love filler
because-
episodes because it like helps them grow as characters and they're fun.
Exactly.
Like-
who cares? Unless it's a fucking
Ronaldo episode.
Ronaldo
then you
episode.
Yeah,
skip
that
it.
too.
then any Townie episode I'm okay
You know what
with.
pisses me off?
Even the
is
Onion
when
episodes.
he like
Yeah.
I'll go talk to Thomas, let's just say, and we'll be like, oh yeah, I would love to watch them just fuck around like the town and shit and learn other characters. And then once like that happens, he's like, no, where's the fucking plot? And I'm like, bitch, we're getting what we wanted. So
Does the plot matter in this sense?
everything matters? in this
Townie
show.
episodes are plot because I've been saying that. I've said it before and I'll say
I
it
love
again.
Townie episodes.
If Steven Universe was just the space episodes and like all that drama,
I wouldn't care as much.
we wouldn't realize how much Steven cares about the town because he's half human, half alien. But if we just ignored the fact that he's human and didn't give him a reason to fight for Earth, then the show
He
wouldn't
would have
have
no-
as big of an impact
Yeah.
as it does.
We
He
wouldn't
wouldn't
be
have a
crying.
character, really.
Yeah.
He'd just be this cute little cheerful kid that goes around.
He would be the comic relief.
He wouldn't
Yeah.
have a reason for fighting for Earth if it weren't for the townspeople.
Yeah, like why
Yeah.
would he be the protagonist? Like, come on now.
Yeah.
And plus,
I
it
feel
makes
strongly
it
about
makes
this.
us like when the diamonds showed up and we started screeching. Yeah, it's because the diamonds are on Earth, but it's also because holy shit,
My baby's
the
gonna
entire
die.
town's on the beach. They gotta fucking run, bitch. Like,
Yeah. It's not called Beach City for a reason.
like having Townie episodes makes us as the viewers more invested in the show and its characters, and it makes the world much more fleshed out.
Yeah.
Because they truly are part of Earth. If they didn't have Townie episodes, it would just be like, oh, okay, they're just aliens kind of seeking refuge on a beach. Not, they've truly made Earth their home in the past fucking millennia.
Yeah.
I'm very attached to these characters.
Back
I
to-
just need Sadie and Lars to fucking make out already.
Literally me.
You mean again?
Again.
Fair fucking point. I kind of forgot it happened the first time.
Yeah.
I
Back
love
to
them
the
so much.
yeah.
But yeah,
I miss
so
them.
Jungle Moon, it was in January. The first time we see Yellow Diamond was in January. In Message Received was in January. And the first time we see Blue, not the answer though. That doesn't count because we don't see her
Yeah.
like actual person.
Yes, but when he steals Greg.
Yes,
Yeah.
the Human Zoo arc, that was in January. So we can assume that we're probably going to see White Diamond next January.
Does this mean Steven Universe is a spring season anime?
I mean-
no, that'd be a winter. Yeah, it would be winter.
That would
September.
technically be winter.
Yeah,
January is
yeah.
winter.
No, back to the episode.
January is winter.
No,
But
back to the
it would
episode.
fit because White Diamond is in like White Lake Snow. So winter,
Oh,
hat,
yeah.
January.
Everyone else is in motion. She is just snow.
Just ice
That's
powers.
that's her power. She can go into fucking snowflake.
She's
a snowflake. Oh no!
wait. I would still like to believe that White Diamond is cool grandma. Like
No, but
that
that's
AU.
fluoride. That's fluoride.
No. I mean like
Florida, and I'm like, what's Florida have to do with this shit?
Florida is just a cool grandma. There you go.
Well, that's usually where all the grandparents move to anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so
Florida's for new.
With
Or,
this-
you know, White Diamond's just a fucking fusion.
now I've seen now that we've seen the episode, I have seen like pictures of Green Diamond, like an actual character model of Green Diamond.
Are we sure that this wasn't just like a made thing? Because like a lot of people were like, some people made gifs of Lapis and Peridot fusing, and it looked pretty realistic.
I
Yeah.
want them to fuse so bad.
Yeah. What would
Like,
that
please?
gem be?
You know, but I also like the fact that they have infused because it shows that it shows like an asexual relationship where you can
Yeah.
still love each other and be together with the equivalent of them quote unquote having sex.
Yeah.
Good point.
But then we have to take into account that fusion isn't
100% sex.
Well,
Yeah.
no, but you're right. But it does have that.
You have to,
Intimacy.
yeah.
In some
Correct
cases, it means that, but yeah, I can see where you're coming from.
That takes a whole new light on to Smoky Quartz, though.
No, that whole thing
Yeah.
is that it's supposed to represent a polyamorous relationship.
No, that's fluorite. Smoky
Oh,
Quartz
wait.
is amethyst.
And Steven.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be. That's
Yeah.
a brother-sister thing.
No.
Yeah. No incest on this channel.
And then back to the episode.
And then-
fucking Lapis is
Lapis,
the
lapis, lapis.
Hulk. This is like that's the secret, Steve. I'm always angry. That's the secret, Steven. I'm always depressed.
Is Lapidot. Whoa. Lapis
Nope,
is
no,
just
no.
no shipping here right
No,
now.
not this one.
No, like Lapis is literally the culmination of what r/depression is, but also a slice of r/dank memes.
I can see it. Yeah, they go hand in hand.
Actually, think about it. Lapis would be a redditor.
Yeah, I think Blue Diamond would be a mod for
Yeah.
depression.
Yeah.
Do you think Yellow would be a mod for the alt-right? Because she's extremely gem conservative.
Yeah. Nah, and White Diamond's just the owner of alright.
Fuck, it's an
I
admin.
have no idea.
Fuck, she's an admin.
What, you don't understand Reddit memes?
No, because I don't use Reddit.
Neither do
I
I
barely
don't
use
know.
Reddit.
Website's ugly,
No,
okay?
I barely
Hard
use
to
Reddit,
use.
yet I still know, like, how to.
I know things that come from Reddit, I just don't go on.
Basically, every meme that you've seen was stolen off of Reddit/4chan.
Yeah. I am
That
a
is
Reddit-
that is the blate truth.
I am a Redditor. I have a Reddit account. And I have put shit posts on many occasions.
The only-
I'm not proud, but I have a shit ton of karma and I'm happy.
Yes, the
Yeah,
fucking.
I found
The
the
only
guy's
reason
Twitter.
why.
Are
Oh.
they together?
I don't know, he didn't
Ooh, that's
really...
good. Oh, fast.
What's his name? Hold
The only reason why I have a Reddit is because of Mikhail.
on.
That's
Ew.
the only reason.
Why are we talking about him like He's just like tainted this entire...
Like this entire live stream
We
was
tainted when
tainted
we
because of
started
a
talking about
single.
Reddit. We started-
Yeah.
True.
That's tainted.
What is this fucker's name?
Fucker.
Chad McChad.
No, I have to find him.
R/slash
guy.
incels.
This
I
guy,
found him.
Chad.
It's Uwin or something. Look, I found him. What was I talking
No,
about?
isn't it Chet?
He was on the Today Show.
Chet, you betcha.
The girl's name is Helen.
La Chancla, Brie. La Chancla.
So, let's talk about Steven Universe more. So,
That song in the beginning was huge.
Bismuth
yeah,
is.
I honestly thought this was going to be another musical episode, and I was completely down for it.
Can I talk about the musical opening?
Yes, go.
Because it starts with him talking about the entire song is him going over the entire arc, basically. Going through everyone's experience and their fears and their worries. And he covers it up with, we need to be happy today because it's a wedding. This is us. We're supposed to be happy today. And I feel that because it really wasn't addressed, it was a bit addressed in the second episode with Amethyst in the arc, but it really wasn't addressed how this affects Steven. It just shows that he's trying to keep himself busy, so he's not. This is my
fully thinking about it.
Yeah, so he's not focusing on how
The bad things
all
and
of
wants
this
to
is
move
happening.
forward.
Yeah, but it's also about he's right. They have faced all of this crazy shit. They should be happy for once.
Yeah.
So I could see where it's a little bit of a coping mechanism and a repression mechanism. That's my take on the opening. But then fucking Bismuth and Ronaldo are both wearing their armor, and Bismuth is judging hard on Ronaldo's armor.
It's like, bro, what is that aluminum shit?
Yeah, it's like, the fuck is that, cardboard? Get that
If they don't get married,
shit
I'm
outta here.
going to scream.
Literally.
Oh my god. Yeah, we're talking about the people on the
They
plane.
were
Shit.
flirting, and I love them.
If they don't tell their grandkids about their meet cute, like they
What
have
the
to
hell?
stay together.
What is this?
A meet cute. It's
We
a
met
cliche
on a
way that
plane.
People like bumping
The
into someone in
end.
the hallway, dropping their books, and then they touch hands, and then they're like,
Oh,
we should get
okay.
Or
married.
getting stuck in an elevator together.
Okay. Alright.
Being
Pause
next to
me,
each
and
other
then
on a
they meet.
plane.
Like,
Me and Kyle's meet cute was the fact that he had never seen me before, and he was working behind the deli, and he was like, "Oh my god, I love your hair." Then he saw my shirt. He's like, "I love your shirt." And he saw my wallet, my phone case, and he just sat there complimenting me, which is weird for him because he has massive anxiety and hates talking to strangers.
He found something to relate in you, and that's a lot of how a lot
That's a
of
lot.
That's a lot of anxiety.
No, that's how a lot of people with anxiety start talking to people once they find
That's how
something
I do
you
it.
can relate to at face value.
That's how I
Yeah.
met her.
Yeah,
That's how our friendship started.
We still don't know how
Yeah.
we met.
I have no idea.
We
It
just
just-
started fucking around.
Yeah, we just started talking, and that was history. I don't understand, but we know it predates to 8th grade,
Yeah,
and that's it.
Like it's somewhere in middle school or junior high.
Not
somewhere
middle school,
in there.
junior high, 7th, 8th grade.
Who the fuck are you?
I don't know.
Oh fuck, it's pink.
Oh shit. So, okay, now obligatory Steven Universe questions. Going couch order. Jillian,
I'm gonna fail.
what is your favorite
Oh,
gem?
Guardians. Or Paradise.
Mine is the weird, corrupted gem that Steven tried to keep as a pet.
Centipedal?
Yes.
I
Centipedal.
remember him.
Okay. Yeah.
Her! Okay,
Okay.
who's your
Don't
favorite gem?
assume it's.
Okay, Miss Tumblr. We have every website. We have Twitter, Tumblr,
I'm ironic Tumblr.
ironic Tumblr, Reddit, half of 4chan, half of Reddit.
You're like 9gag.
Yeah. No. No. No.
Fanfiction.net?
No. Okay, shut the. Why is now this is like now a Reddit AMA, a roast. Oh,
It's
We're all the
9gag.
same
A Reddit
perspective.
roast.
9gag.
Shut the fuck up. Okay. Who's your favorite gem, Mr. Caleb?
Bloodstone. I gotta say Bismuth. Right now it's
Yeah,
Bismuth.
Bismuth is pretty great.
Or no. Peridot.
Peridot. You
Because
clods.
no, like she just gives no fucks this episode. She's just like, fight me, fight me.
Yeah.
Why didn't we get more of a reaction as to how Peridot took the whole pink diamond reveal?
I don't even think she still
I don't think she
knows.
No, she knows, but I don't think she
No,
It didn't
imagine-
affect her that much.
because
I
she
mean,
wasn't
like, it
part
was
of
a
Pink
big-
Diamond.
Yeah,
Six.
yeah, she's an era 2 gem. So she was never taught about it.
And she was taught about it. She popped out after the war was over.
Yeah.
So,
But that's why she didn't know who the crystal gems were. She didn't know who Pink Diamond was.
no. She said she knew about it. She had all the information on it
Oh.
that they knew of.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. they didn't know about like their
Casually,
motives.
while they said like pink diamond, she just literally like Googled it up. Like, who is Pink Diamond?
She would.
Just don't
Unlike
help.
I love her so much.
You just Google
a
images of
diamond that
Pink
needs to be polished twice a year. What?
Yeah.
Paradox
Yeah.
is the cutest thing ever. Like,
Oh,
People fucking
did you know? Say Uncle
Did you know?
is actually canon.
they all claimed that
Say
That
Uncle
is-
is not canon, but it really is.
because
Because in the episode, Uncle Grandpa says to Steven, you better shine this twice a year. And
Okay.
rose quartz don't need to be shined,
Twice
like,
a year.
ever.
Yeah, no, but that doesn't
Pink
make
diamonds do.
it makes it fit what's happening, but that doesn't make the fucking episode canon. There's a difference, guys.
But what he's saying, just, like, basically
Is right.
kind of
That was
spoiled
like an
it.
Easter egg.
Yeah,
It's a
but
spoiler.
it was an Easter egg, but no one fucking, like, unless there's a 30-year-old gem critic who, like, spend their life making rings, and they heard that and be like,
I
no
got
one knew. No one cares. They've made even worse Easter eggs and foreshadowing about him being Pink Diamond the entire
Yeah.
fucking thing.
I mean, I got it from Tumblr. That's
the
where
entire
I got
show
it
is
from.
just foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Like, you could, like, have a film theory class and just focus on freaking
Film
foreshadowing.
theory? Where is the
Okay, no,
teacher,
no,
Matt
no,
Pat?
no, 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 no,
Is-
telling you.
That's exactly who it is. That episode was rough, buddy.
Yeah. Peridot. Oh.
What?
Peridot Lapis poofed.
Oh,
We
yeah.
get a star.
They're gonna get a star now.
When
They
reform.
poofed. When they reform, they're gonna get a star.
Maybe.
They're gonna put on a star because they both claim to be, since they both accepted that they're crystal gems, they're gonna add stars.
Yo,
New
I want your character
form.
designs.
Oh, I'm sitting here like, wait, do you mean that they're gonna get a gem on the temple? I just realized you meant that they're gonna get a gem on their outfit.
Yeah,
a
a
star. on their
star.
outfit.
Like a little-
Yeah. Also, they need to update the door. We
Yeah.
got
They need to
bismuth.
rebuild the house.
Yeah,
like,
first
third
off,
time.
We got bismuth. We got
Casual-
we got lapis,
oh my god,
we
I
got
just thought of
Connie.
something hilarious. The like trailer for season 6 will be a new opening. And it's them rebuilding the house like they did for the new opening
That'd be
for
mad
for
freaking
season
cute.
2. Like they did. Remember the episode where they did? It wasn't really an episode. It was like the prequel where Steven was singing the song and they were building the house. What if it's the exact same and they rebuild the house with a new intro as a trailer for season
I would
6?
dig it.
Rebecca Sugar, get on it!
I want
And
Yellow and
you
Diamond to help.
dig it.
I want to put like the roof on it.
It's just like another story to the
Like,
house.
here you go.
The
Since-
diamonds get a room.
yeah.
Oh no.
No, now since the barn is destroyed,
Rip the barn.
Also,
I actually
the ships
heard-
are destroyed.
yeah, and the ships are destroyed, so they're
They're
gonna be staying.
stranded.
Yeah, they're gonna be staying
I
on
heard a
Earth.
really good theory as to why yellow and blue were so much bigger than pink. And the theory goes that every time that a diamond is poofed in battle, they come back bigger because they have more experience. And because Pink had never really done any, like, building before, like, she had never gone and, like, been in wars and
Yeah.
participated, she never got to be all that big. But that's why, that's that huge infatuation with, all I want to do is see you turn into a giant woman, a giant woman.
I have my own theory on that.
Mm-hmm.
Just how in our culture we are trying to live up to the standards of the rich and the wealthy, but they get to disregard those standards at times because they are so rich and wealthy. I think Pink Diamond was a runt.
Yeah.
I think,
That's
yeah,
what I feel.
I
that.
feel there is a huge theory going around that Pink was a defective gem, and
Yeah.
basically everyone in her
And then
court.
Why they
Supposed-
babied her so much.
But
I also
Yeah.
heard that she was supposed to be a blood diamond instead, or
Yeah,
a
a red
or whatever,
diamond.
and that she came out pink because she like was overcooked or something.
Undercooked.
yeah.
It'd be undercooked. Because it goes.
No, because when
Oh, yeah,
Amethyst
when
was
you're cooking
overcooked,
steak. When you're cooking steak,
No,
it goes pink. It goes
no, I'm
red
not talking
pink.
about fucking that. I'm talking
No!
about the fact that Amethyst was overcooked and she came out
Oh, yeah.
tiny. You're thinking
I was
of
thinking of
steaks?
steaks.
Oh
Like
my fucking
like how
God.
when they cook steaks, red is the
It goes,
red is
it
where,
goes
and then it goes
purple,
pink.
red, pink, brown.
Yeah, that.
Though it would be different chemical compounds.
Yeah.
That would make it pink or red, wouldn't it? Yeah.
And it's still coal. It's still super compressed coal.
Carbon, not just coal.
Coal.
Do-
C.
At home, do not take a bag of quick light charcoal
And just
put it into a pressure cooker. It won't work. Believe me. Try.
Tried.
Yes.
It's like Santa. I want a bag of coal so I can make diamonds.
sell them on the black market.
The coal market.
I mean, coal is black, so it would kind of. I don't know what I'm saying.
What's the joke?
R/whoosh.
I'm gonna hit
You. What? You want to fight?
Yes.
Okay, another gem question.
Sure.
Out of all of the episodes,
This arc?
no, yes, of this arc, which one is your favorite?
Buckaroo Ruby.
That's not an episode title. That is what. That one is the question.
Yeah, I like the question then. Because Buckaroo Ruby.
Definitely the last one.
Reunited. Caleb.
What
Yeah,
is, like,
Reunited.
the next one? 'Cause we need to-
True, the Amethyst one is like definitely
Yeah.
like close second.
Yeah.
I think the bismuth one would be second, but
Yeah.
that could be a third.
I loved Maid of Honor
Yeah, Maid
so
of Honor.
much.
I know, you love Bismuth. We get it. With her rainbow hair and all that.
The rainbow dreads that everyone loves so much.
Yeah.
No, like, because, like, for about, ever since Bismuth was poofed, they're just, like, every theorist that I've seen on YouTube was like, oh, she has to come back in,
This
like,
arc.
she has to come back in, like, next season. Or, like, she has to make a return and do right or wrongs. And, like, Steven can help her understand.
Yeah, I don't think they would have made it a whole big, like, deal that she wasn't, like, shattered.
Yeah, and they and they
was
didn't
really
want
poop.
Bismuth, and a lot of people didn't want Bismuth just to be a plot device
Yeah.
to, like, get, like, backstory. And
Yeah.
that was it, a one-time character. Because on Steven Universe, there's never a one-time character.
True.
So, obviously, we would see her again.
No. There
Oh,
has
Grandpa.
no. When Onion's friends, they were one-time characters.
Yes.
Yeah, but they might come back. We don't know yet. They might come
doubt-
back.
I was gonna say Mario.
Because
we've seen
this-
2 episodes.
This isn't in summer. This could be in, like, spring and there's still school because they come in
True.
during the summer. So technically, we're
They came
still,
Yeah. Sorry.
yeah. So they could be in spring and school hasn't ended yet.
Oh. I still love the show.
Yeah.
It's adorable. I can't.
So hopefully in the next arc or whatever, Lars comes back.
Please!
Like,
And
please.
possibly give more of a viable proof that he's actually trans, because that's my #1 headcanon.
Oh my god, I showed Thomas that theory. We're in love with it.
And it makes so much sense. No, I will send you the.
No,
the
I
master
believe, I
post.
want to believe it, but the thing is, his birth name is Laramie.
No.
Yeah,
That's
it
what
is.
his parents call him, and I'm pretty sure. Hold on, I'll pull up the
Isn't it
fucking
also a female name?
post. Yeah, it's
It
like
is?
calling someone Leslie.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
I'm so, like, she sent me that
Or
post.
Lemony.
Boy, I was like,
There-
Laramie.
this has to be.
Lemony Snicket.
Let's see. Then
He's a
there's the
guy.
fact that that when he was taking off his shirt, he kind of like covered up. You see, his mom's pretty flat chested, so being on hormone blockers, like he would probably lose all of his chest if he had
Yeah.
any. Here, let me just find.
And
it.
also in some of the older screenshots, if he has his shirt off, he it kind of looks like there's scars.
Yeah.
Like, but only in some like quick shots.
It's still headcanon for me. Like,
Yeah.
if it's not a big deal. But bro, if they did this, boy.
I don't know. In Russia and the UK,
I'll
they're
fucking
treading on
cry.
thin water with those
Okay.
censorship.
The master
Yeah.
post.
Which, yeah.
Here we go.
How the
Okay.
This
Trans
become a
Lars,
lesson.
the Master Post.
Hell? Gotcha.
Okay, listen to this, kids in the back.
First of all, from his looks and his mannerisms, Lars is someone who adheres to a quite strict code of hypermasculinity that is apparently self-imposed. If you look at his environment and the people he associates with, it does not seem likely that he picked up that kind of behavior from direct outside influences. Sadie is totally chill and also doesn't give much of a hoot about stereotypical gendered presentation. The cool kids are also chill and actually surprisingly in touch with their so stereotypically male sides. Ronaldo? Nope. Now we meet his parents, and they also don't seem to be the type for toxic masculinity, but Lars draws the need to be perceived like that from somewhere, and if it's not from the pressure and the standards of masculinity coming from the people around him, then where? I mean, this is almost a caricature of manspreading, and then it's a picture of him sitting with his legs quite literally at a 180-degree angle.
Wait, I didn't see. Yeah!
Pardon me.
Sometimes, okay, pretty
Bam!
often, he takes it too far and comes off as simply a jerk, though I feel like I need to mention that Lars has some very real emotional issues, and this is by no means at all related to him being trans. But as it always is with over-the-top behavior of a certain direction, it's mostly just there to distance yourself from something else that you really don't want to be associated with. In Lars's case, the way I see it, the most distance from being seen as a girl is achieved by playing up his masculinity, and he's still young, as he is still young and insecure about himself, he tends to overdo it. TLDR, he doesn't want to be associated with femininity, so he's an asshole douche. In Lars and the Cool Kids, Lars takes center stage for the first time and takes off his shirt. Some people have used this to discredit the trans theory because his chest is flat and he doesn't have any surgery scars that we can see. But actually, I beg to differ. It's unlikely that Lars at his age would have any top surgery done anyway, but surgery is not the only possibility here. He could be on puberty blockers and could be on T. Additionally, he could have naturally small breasts. You know, those exist. And if you look at Lars's build, barely discernible upper chest fat, no hip fat, skinny as a stick, it seems that he has always just had a very boyish figure anyway, no matter what gender he was assigned at birth. And looking at him from this episode, he's definitely not completely flat-chested, and then they show pictures of him with his, like, kind of chest puffed out a bit.
Yeah.
A boy that skinny has no business having that much muscle/fat in his upper chest area, and yet he is constantly drawn with that slight outward curve of his chest and the line in the middle of it. You can often see it while he has his shirt on. This is not character design happening on accident. This is very much intended. And I believe Lars is aware that he passes very well, but maybe not entirely upon close inspection. It doesn't seem like going around shirtless is something he is accustomed to, and his reaction when he sees the cool kids all undressed for going swimming is the opposite of enthusiasm. Shock, maybe even a little bit of fear. And then he turns away to take off his shirt and visibly steels himself, taking a breath and sort of a "I can do this" moment before turning around again, ready to face them. Just reading something to make sure it's important. Okay. Of course, then they almost get eaten alive by Rose's moss, and Lars saves the day with Steven, all the while shirtless, and by the end, his initial anxiety about it seems to have all but disappeared. He even initiates Steven's chest high five, and that he had been fending off before, showing, I believe, both that he has bonded with Steven and that he's become a little more confident about casual touches in that area being okay. Just another shot of his chest during Coach Steven. And really that looks pretty obvious to me, especially as he's, facing downward, so gravity is doing its part to amplify the effect.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Yeah.
Then in Island Adventures, Lars, Sadie, and Steven spend, well, it's hard to say how long exactly, but a lot of time stranded on an uninhabited island. Long enough for Sadie to grow a substantial amount of leg hair, and I can't even tell you how much I adore the Crooniverse for that, while Lars doesn't even show a hint of beard stubble on his face. And especially in contrast with Sadie, who shows that the crew did put thought into places you'd suddenly grow hair if you were stranded on an island. This is quite noticeable. Furthermore, if Lars was really taking P blockers or hormones, then being cut off from them could have played a part in his desperation to get back off the island as soon as possible, and his intense anger at Sadie for her deception, aside from the fact that being a quite natural reaction regardless. On to Horror Club, wherein We meet the prepubescent versions of Lars and Ronaldo, and everything in that flashback points to what we're seeing here is Lars before he came out to, well, pretty much anyone. I suspect anyone except Ronaldo. First of all, he looks pretty feminine. If you told me this was a tomboyish girl, I'd have believed it no problem. Mostly the haircut, but that does go a long way. And while for Ronaldo it's ghosts all the way, the only thing we see Kid Lars really concerned with is the confirmation that this will remain a secret clubhouse. And then comes the kicker. Why is it so important to Lars that the club remain a secret and nobody sees the photo, to the point where he takes it from Ronaldo and rips it up? Sorry, rips himself out as he says it. Why is he not just annoyed about the stupid photo, but downright anxious about it, everything to do with their adventure? What is like... Okay, so then, young Lars, oh come on Ronnie, you know I can't let people see me like that. What is like that? It's not about where they are or what they were doing, or Lars would have said something else and acted different. You know I'm not supposed to be here, maybe, or something else to do with his parents, who should be the only relevant authority persons he needed to worry about here. But no, it's an unspecified general people that can't see him like that. To me, the phrasing makes it clear that this is about Lars looking like he's not supposed to look, and heavily implies that he's not the way he normally dresses. That this is something he does in secret when no people are around and he's with Ronaldo in their secret clubhouse, into which he immediately wanted to carve his name, by the way. I wonder how long it's been since he decided to go by Lars. He's not ready yet for everyone to know about him, and he seems afraid of their judgment. Why do you care so much about what other people think? Ron yells at him, not understanding, and Lars throws it back in his face, and thus their friendship breaks. Lars in the present day is pretty rattled by the whole thing. While the others look on astonished and curious, he literally hides behind Sadie and then immediately goes to put as much space as he can between himself and the others once the flashback ends. Sadie unwittingly hit the nail on the head, and though she was okay, then it's Sadie. So all the lashing out was just from feeling hurt and trapped for so long. Lars lashing out, I didn't mean to rip it up, okay? You can stop talking about me now. Sadie unwittingly hits the nail on the head, and though she was talking about the house, not about Lars, the parallel is made pretty clear, especially because Lars very much registers that as a comment about himself and reacts accordingly by going on the defensive, confirming to us that he has indeed been feeling hurt and trapped for a significant part of his life. They were all caught unawares by the flashback, and Lars is probably feeling horribly exposed in the aftermath, even though I believe it's safe to say that he hasn't just been outed. Ronaldo obviously knows, and I hold to the theory that Sadie does too. It's been implied that they've had sex at least once, or have been physically intimate enough to know, so that it makes no difference. And Steven, honestly, who knows about Steven? Maybe this is all flying right over his head, maybe it doesn't, and he just generally doesn't think it's a big deal at all, but I'll talk about that more when I go to the next episode. Lars, at least, doesn't want to discuss this all, and is highly uncomfortable with any attempts. When Ronaldo tries to apologize and talk about what happened with him, Lars flees the scene as fast as he can, claiming he doesn't care and it doesn't matter. All in all, his emotional reaction to the childhood flashback is extreme, and I'm honestly at a loss to explain all that as anything other than Lars being trans while having it still make sense, because there's absolutely nothing else happening in there that I can see that would have upset him this much. Finally, for now, the new Lars. There's a lot happening in this episode. We see some more naked Lars, this time all the way, and more importantly, Steven gets confronted with some naked Lars, raising again the question, has Steven known Lars is trans, or did he not know but just it doesn't make a difference? Even if the kid doesn't have an insert anything you want here phobic bone in his body, at least a brief moment of, oh okay, that's not what I was expecting would have been understandable and natural. But in this scene, Steven doesn't seem caught up by surprise anything other than the fact that he suddenly finds himself in Lars's body. That's it. But he does say something that to me feels like he knows very well what's up. Steven, I guess while I'm here I better do my best to respect Lars's body. Now that can obviously pertain to very many things while Steven is literally running around in Lars's skin, but something about specifically the word body instead of Lars's life or whatever makes me feel like it was chosen deliberately. And what about Steven obviously not thinking that anything about Lars's body is any sort of big deal? You know, I got to thinking about that, and my answer to the question, can the kid really just be that nonchalantly awesome about all this, is yes, maybe. And my answer to the question is, how is actually Amethyst. This may be surprising to think about, This may be surprising, but think about it. Amethyst is very experimental with gender and with bodies, much more so than any of the other gems. Because of her, Steven has grown up with someone around who goes about life presenting as very recognizably female, but still sometimes comes home looking like this, and then it just shows a picture of Amethyst as a police officer with a water gun, and has frequently used male alter ego that looks like this, and then they insert her when she was the
Purple Puma.
Purple Puma. Amethyst reveals in these body shapes that are almost exaggeratingly masculine, hairy and muscled and buff, just as much as, if not more than she does in any other form she occasionally takes. And I could talk about Purple Puma all day, TBH. It has never been in question that whatever form she takes, at the core of it, she is still Amethyst. This is why Steven grew up with this. This is Steven's normal. I honestly didn't find that far-fetched to think whatever body parts Lars does or doesn't have, it wouldn't register as anything out of the ordinary to Steven. Early childhood influences are incredibly informative. Then it goes into talking about his mom and how she's so flat-chested. Now, Steven, in his innocence, asks her who Laramie is, but we can see from Martha's reaction upon realizing what name she called him that it was a slip-up and one that Lars would not have been happy with. Lars doesn't want to be called Laramie, and his parents know it. Now, technically, Laramie is a unisex name, but more commonly given to girls than to boys. But still, you cannot tell me that any creative team of a TV show would have ever dedicate their valuable time, money, and energy into drawing and animating and voicing and producing a scene in which a character is revealed to have a birth name that he doesn't like, that is very likely of the wrong gender, and then that only his parents still call him it. If they did not intend for that character to be trans, it literally would not make a shred of sense. So, I'm trying to see if there's anything else after this. A couple of people asked me to add something in about the heart-shaped ear gauges that Steven as Lars wears in the episode. I initially dismissed them because while they're definitely part of the argument that Lars is strictly about rejecting girly things, I figured if he were a cis guy concerned with his masculinity, he would probably just as much against wearing them as he is now. Silly concept as it is, accessories with hearts in them are not just seen as manly in our society. But just look at his adorable face. Lars's reaction aside, however, the fact remains that Lars has them around somewhere so that Steven put them in, and after he leaves, Lars's mother tells his father, and he's wearing the plugs I got him, all happy and touched. Seeing Lars with the plugs comes as a positive surprise to Martha, indicating that she bought them probably in full knowledge that Lars wouldn't want to wear them, but maybe hoping. Or maybe that she just hasn't shaken the habit of buying her child things like these, even though she knows he's so against it. Whatever her motivation, heart-shaped earplugs doesn't feel like the stuff a mother would typically buy for her son, who expresses no interest in stereotypically feminine things, except perhaps if she lived under the assumption that she had a daughter until not so very long ago. Now, I still don't quite know where I stand about his parents. Actually, both of them seem very concerned for their son's welfare, and also after the immediately corrected slip-up at breakfast, they initially do not misgender him again, neither to his face nor when talking about him in private. They consistently use he/him pronouns and his name, whether he can hear them or not. That would definitely be a point in their favor, were it not for in the end when Lars, being himself again, slips back into his behavior, and they don't approve of so much, whereupon Lars's father, chastising him, calls him Laramie. That way it feels like using his preferred name and pronouns before was more of sort of indulging him because they were pleased with him, and not something they can be relied upon to do consistently. But whatever the case may be with his parents, one thing I'm very happy about is the character design of Lars's mom, because remember what I said in the beginning of the meta that Lars might just have naturally small breasts? Well, his mother all but confirms this. Look-wise, Lars takes off for his mom almost exclusively. I can't see any resemblance to his father at all, actually, except for a hint of the darker skin. Lars's mother passed her height on to him, her thin stature, her hair color, and if he takes on her bust size too, then I'll guarantee you he doesn't have to worry about a D cup, because her chest is almost as flat as her son's. Aren't genetics just amazing? When Lars comes back online, his first reaction is confusion. Then Steven confesses that he spent the day with his mind in Lars's body, and Lars freaks. Then he looks in horror down at his body, as if Steven might have done unspeakable things to it. Now, I don't know about you, but if I were in that situation, I think I would linger at confusion a lot longer, followed by some more of the same. Lars's reaction is that of someone who has something to hide, for lack of a better word, who has something that he doesn't want revealed, and his horror at the breach of privacy that Steven admits to immediately overrides the question of, huh, or how is it even possible, or what the fuck are you talking about? It's like if Steven said, I've seen you naked, which he basically did, but let's just say a random hypothetical situation, and Lars's mind jumped immediately to catastrophic scenarios of that might mean for him, skipping the question that someone who doesn't really care about a naked part might ask, such as, how'd you even get in my shower? Yeah, I mean, there's more, but I'm done. I'm tired talking. But yeah.
Until you read an audiobook.
Lars is trans. You can't change my mind. I'm sorry.
Literally.
Just like, I had something funny to say, but I can't remember it now. You've been talking for so long.
Yes, I have been.
You've been talking for like an hour. Last time I looked at the clock it was like 8:09. So.
We learned a lot today.
Yeah.
Headcanon, Lars is trans, accepted. And
Yeah,
Abby has a nice reading voice.
Yeah, it's good. It's very, and it also explains why he's so collective and more excitable now instead of reserved and like super masculine, because he's stuck in a permanent state of what he was before he technically died. He's more confident now.
I saw this theory that when Rose / Pink / Steven bring someone back to life, they don't actually come back to life in the same sense where their spirit returns to their body, but more of the way that the person bringing them back to life saw them in life is what they become. Which is why, even though Lars was always a dick to Steven, Steven was always like, Lars, my best friend, my buddy, you great person. So when Lars came back, he was kind of like, I'm this great person, and I go on these amazing adventures.
I want to hug Lars.
Yeah,
He's
right?
fake, so I can't.
He's fake.
He's fictional, and that makes me sad.
See, no, but it could just very well be that the confidence thing, as if it pertains to him being trans, could easily just be the fact that he's surrounded by people who didn't know him as female.
True. And plus it's with other people who
are seen as off-colored.
Yeah. Off-colored or not
right.
Correct.
As well as the fact that he's now literally a fucking space cowboy.
Yeah.
No, I shouldn't say space cowboy because that means he's a stoner. A space pilot. So, like... There's that.
Okay, final gem question. What is... I have to think of another space question. Yeah.
Have these prepared on
No.
note cards? Like,
What note cards?
Or
Okay, I have index cards over there, but we don't talk about that.
Is the onion white diamond confirmed?
Yes.
Absolutely. No.
I'm convinced Fisherman is high-key an alien.
You mean Yellowtail?
Yellowtail?
What did I say?
Fisherman.
Yeah.
so you mean that is his occupation?
I wasn't saying it to say his name, I just meant like what he looks like.
Well, we all knew who it meant.
That's like calling Peridot kindergartner. Or
She is a kindergartner.
Yeah, but like calling her that.
Instead of, you kindergartner.
Or
You guard.
Or calling Pearl traitor.
You servant. That would be to Pearl.
Yeah. You
just call
abomination.
Garnet.
To
You
Abomination.
We go by A-bomb now. Thank you.
Oh my god.
What?
A-bomb instead of abomination.
Oh.
My God.
I'm half asleep right now.
You know, I need to go home.
Wait, the final gem question is if anybody could fuse, including the people who have fused already, what combination of 2 or 3 gems would you like to see on the show?
Lapis and Peridot, please. It'd be cute. Actually, be really cute.
Other than Lapis and Peridot, I would actually really like to see Greg fuse with Steven, and Greg somehow be able to connect with Rose while in the fusion.
That'd be mad fucking cute. Like, I'd cry.
Dewey and Jamie.
Gems! Gems! Even though that would be great. Gems, though.
I would love that.
2 or 3 or 4 gems.
There's actually this
Bismuth,
theory that
Bismuth, Peridot, and Lapis.
if there's a fusion of
That'd
like
be
3 and then one drops out, the other fusion just stays. So if Steven, Amethyst, and
Pearl?
no, Connie all fused, and then Steven dropped out, there's a possibility that Amethyst and Connie would stay fused.
So we haven't seen one single gem drop out of a fusion yet. So
yeah.
it's
Usually all of
unconfirmed.
them drop.
Well, no, but
Yeah.
think about how Garnet drops out. Because she never drops out as Ruby and Sapphire and then needs to refuse. She's always, whenever
She's always
they drop
Garnet.
out, she's always Garnet.
Well, there was one instance where we saw, it was, when Connie and her parents had dinner, we saw them all unfuse, and then Garnet goes back to being Garnet.
Yeah. Well,
There is a single, like, frame
where you can
where
see
it's-
Ruby and Sapphire.
yeah. It's like a single or 2 frames where you see Garnet and Sapphire, Ruby and Sapphire separated.
I mean,
And then
I
they
guess,
all
but-
land together.
I don't know. I think it'd be cool to see Mystery Girl and
Pearl. Yes.
Mystery Pearl.
Mr. Pearl. No, but who I really want to see, I really want to see the new version of Rainbow Quartz.
That
Yeah.
too.
Yes.
They fucking teased that,
Please?
and then they're like, ha, nope,
Yeah.
fuck you.
The
Still salty.
Steven and Pearl fusing. It might bring Pearl to tears like it did when she was asked to fuse to make Sardonyx.
Yeah.
But I mean it more in, not in like, yes, after all these years I get to fuse again. More like in, are you sure about this? You are the person that I used to love.
My diamond.
You used to be my diamond, and now you are my Steven. How does this work? So,
Steven is my son.
no, he's not. He's Greg's son.
He's mine now.
In
no.
that
Adopted
whole
him.
theory, they have embedded a different theory about how far Sadie and Lars have gone, and it hurts me. They've definitely fucked. There's
Yeah.
no doubt.
Definitely, with the player 1 and player 2 shit, definitely. Like, I bet in that entire scenario, they accidentally went too far once, and then Lars is just like, oh shit, you saw my dingle dits!
Well, now,
I bet that's what happened, like, verbatim.
Well, now Sadie's a fucking rock star. She's getting anything
I
that she
love
wants.
how far Sadie's come. Like, I'm so proud of her.
Now let's see how far she'll go.
She's donut girl to rock girl.
Starts blasting Moana soundtrack.
What?
How
How-
far will go?
No, how about start blasting Bowling for Soup?
The fuck is that?
Let's see how far we've come. Let's see how far we've gone. Dun-dun, dun-dun,
See,
dun-dun.
I was gonna do something completely different.
I was
like,
thinking freaking.
you know, like-
Let's see how far we've come. Let's see how far we'll go.
Like maybe.
Stop.
Like, goddamn. No, how does the fucking. How does Phineas and Ferb song go?
I don't fucking know.
Oh, that's Bowling for Soup that does that.
There's 104 days of summer vacation, and school comes along just to end it. So the annual problem for our generation is finding a good way to spend it. Like maybe building a rocket or fighting a mommy or climbing up the Eiffel Tower, or discovering something that doesn't exist,
Hey.
or giving a monkey a
Oh,
shower,
no.
building a fuck,
Tidal wave.
building a
Feeding
tidal
robots and locating
and Frankenstein's brain, it's over here.
Fighting
Painting a dodo bird, painting a cotton, and driving a sister insane. You see, there's a whole lot of stuff before school comes back this fall. I messed that up.
As you can see,
There's a whole lot of stuff to do before school starts this fall. Come on, Perry. So stick with us, cause Phineas and Ferb are gonna do it all. No, we missed it. So stick with us, cause Phineas and Ferb are gonna do it all.